Welcome back, baseball fans, to the summer 69-72 carryover league. We are back in the first round of the postseason tournament, and we're in the National League North, a battle between first and second place teams. Preseason, we called this the best rivalry in it. The Big Red Machine and a Pirate team that really is just as talented and appeared in one World Series and had the best record in baseball another year during this timeline. But it has been a struggle all year for the Pirates, and they find themselves 5 games out before this series starts. So what does this mean? Well, let's go to what the teams need. So the Pirates find themselves 5 games back and down a game head-to-head to the Reds in a tiebreaker. So with 7 games to play, Pittsburgh needs to win 6 out of 7 to get into first place. Kind of seems unlikely, doesn't it? Well, but at the same time, Pittsburgh could help themselves by winning some games in this series, maybe winning 3-2 or 4-2 or 5-2, whatever that is. They would gain ground in the standings. So it's very important to take advantage of home field advantage. So let's see what happened in Game 1. Cover your eyes, Pirate fans, because it didn't happen. Cincinnati wins Game 1 in Pittsburgh 4-2. They are now up 6 games with 6 games left. They need to win a baseball game to be in first place after this round. More bad news for the rest of the National League is that Don Gullett threw a complete game 12-hitter. Well, they're mostly singles, but you get the idea. Gullett had a pretty uneven start. He was struggling, had a losing record. He's the only pitcher on Cincinnati who can pitch on 3 days rest. So if he rights the ship, look out. Now the rest of that staff, they're actually really good. Gary Nolan, that's a big year for him. That particular year of 71, I believe, or maybe 72. With a 72 .99 ERA, Gary Nolan. We have Jim Maloney's 69 year. We have a pretty decent Ross Grimsley year. But the point is that only Gullett can pitch on 3 days rest, which means once you get into the playoffs and you get 7-game series, there's not a lot of days off. And if they get into a long series, they might have to bring in their swing starter, number 5 starter, Gary Ross. What we typically see in the World Championship teams, in the League Championship and World Series, is teams going with 3 guys on the rotation. For instance, last year, Baltimore used Mike Cuellar, Jim Palmer, and Dave McNally, and their closer, Dick Hall. They used 4 pitchers in the World Series, and that was it. They swept the Reds 4 straight with just those 4 guys. All the teams who have 3 guys on the rotation, at least 3, are usually the ones that have an eye on winning the whole thing. The Mets can do it. They have Matlack, Seaver, Kuzman. Dodgers have Osteen, Messersmith, and Sutton. Even the Angels, who are having a big year with Ryan, Singer, and Clyde Wright. Of course, the Orioles I just mentioned. So that's the key in winning the whole enchilada. So anyway, it's not looking good for the Pirates. Sorry about it. Sorry, Pittsburgh fans. This is not going well. When you look at the overall standings now in the National League, here we are. There are your Reds. There are your Pirates. They're now a half game behind the Cardinals. More problematic is they're 2 games under 500. They lose another game and go 3 under 500. I don't know how they get in the playoffs. In the next round, the Astros are 3 over. Giants are 3 over. Even Portland's at 500. Even the Phillies are 2 under. The Marlins at 1 under. Cardinals are 1 under. So the alarm button has been issued in Pittsburgh for quite some time now, and they haven't responded. Maybe today they do. Game 2 in Pittsburgh for the Reds, aforementioned Gary Nolan, he of the 1.99 ERA, against, unfortunately, the number 4 starter for the Pirates, theoretically the worst starter, Bruce Keeson, trying to save his Pirate season. The team has been on red alert for quite some time. I don't know what they could do to change. They're done changing their lineup. This is the lineup they're going to stick with the rest of the way. And they'll use it on the golf course if necessary. So, anyway, leading off for the Reds, it'll be Bobby Tolan, the All-Star. 2-6, double 1 of 15 is a double. Pete Edward Rose, 45, sky's a center. Tony Perez, 46 is a K, and with 2 outs. Johnny Bench, 38 is a grounder to short. So far, so good. Matty Alou, 53, rolls to first. Richie Hebner, 2-9 is a walk. Roberto Clemente, 2-6 is single out dot. Runners in the corners for Pop Stargell. Let's show you the card now. Devastating card for Pop Stargell, his 71 card with the 48 bombs, but he's had a rough year. And if the Pirates have any chance at all this year, this guy has got to get off the mat and do something. So you have runners in the corners with 1 out. The pitch to Pop Stargell, 3-11, right be question mark. Hebner, it's a 12 runner, 13-14, but Rose has a -2 arm, so he will not tag up. And it's Bob Robertson, 3-11, a bouncer to short. And the Pirates go the way the Pirates go. Top of 2, Bernie Carbo, 48, base hit for the B Steeler. Lee May, 1-6 is a K. Mike Fiore, 46. Single 1 to 8 is a line out. And Dave Concepcion, 33, lines a second. Bottom of 2, Manny Sanguillen, 64, short X. Concepcion's not that good. He's a 3.48, but he makes the play. Al Oliver, 2-9, grounds a second. And Rennie Stennett. Oops. Hey, we're dropping Strat-O-Matic cards. You can't be doing that. Rennie Stennett, 34 is a ground ball to short. Top of the 3rd. Tommy Helms, 56. It's a K. Bobby Tolan of the Bells, 42. Flies right. Pete Rose, 66. Lines are short. Good start for Keeson thus far. Here's Bill Mazeroski getting a start for the Pirates. I guess they were seeing their season maybe fading away, and they wanted to get the veteran a start before his career is over. 4-11, right X, but Rose is a 1-4 in right field. He makes the catch. Matty Alou, 1-4, center. Hebner, 2-7 is a single. Roberto Clemente, 33, bounced to short. Top of the 4th, scoreless. Tony Perez, 6-12, pitcher. Johnny Bench, 66, flies a left. Johnny Bench is stuck at 46 RBIs for the last 8 games. He has not knocked in a run after I crowned him the MVP a long time ago. Willie Stargell, 2-7, Ks. Bob Robertson, 36, Ks. Manny Sanguillen, 2-4, pops to second base. We go to the 5th. Did I miss Carbo up here? Did I really do that? I hurried out of the inning and give Bernie Carbo at bat. Well, I'm going to go back and give Bernie Carbo an at bat. 49 single. We're going back to the top of the 4th. That was just deplorable what I've just done. Only gave the Reds 2 outs in the top of that inning. Carbo singles. Lee May, 37 Ks. All right. Sorry about that correction, folks. I think that's the first time I screwed something up like that in YouTube or not in YouTube. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We are scoreless through 4 complete innings. As a matter of fact, each of the teams has sent the same number of runners to the plate through 4 innings, 3 over the minimum. So it's Mike Fiore leading off in the 5th for the Reds. 4-10, Sky's the center. Alou's a 2 in center field, and he makes the catch. Concepcion, 2-2, fouls out to the catcher, plus an injury. So the Reds will bring their defensive shortstop in early in this game. And 2 outs, Tommy Helms. 55, bouncer to second, but Mazeroski's very good defensively until now. He gives up a single to Tommy Helms. Not good. Bobby Tolan, 46 for Tolan. His single 1 to 8. Rolls the 8, and with 2 outs, It is Pete Rose with 2 on and 2 outs. 46, same thing. Single 1 to 8. But this time a 14 is rolled and the inning's over. So Bruce Keeson, theoretically the weak link of the pitching staff, has done a masterful job through 5. Bottom of the 5th, Al Oliver, 49. Short X. The new shortstop, Ray Oyler's a 2E27. He makes the play. Rennie Stennett, 1-3, flies to left. And Bill Mazeroski, 2-4, pops to second base. 5 scoreless innings. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, top of 6 for Keeson, who is a starter 7. Tony Perez, 69, bounces to second base. Johnny Bench, 66, flies to left. He is in a slump. Bernie Carbo, 38, is a base hit. With 2 outs, it's Lee May. 65, Short X. And Stennett's a 4 at shortstop. But he makes the play. Bottom of 6, Matty Alou, 1-6. Take a look at Matty Alou's card. It's a great card. Third best hitter on this 69 Pirates team, who, by the way, this will be the final year I can use this Matty Alou card. It hits 331, which is more incentive of why the Pirates need to, make a playoff run this year so we can use this card. But 1-6, triple 1 and 2, double. All right, Hebner, 3-6, sky's the center. Roberto Clemente, 1-8, and here we go, a base hit into right field. Alou can fly. Pete Rose got a -2 arm, makes it a 13, but no, we're going to let Stargell and Robertson do something. Here it is, first and third, 1 out. With Stargell, a guy, he doesn't hit a lot of double plays anyway. There's no plus on his card to begin with, so he might as well bring the infield up. That's a disadvantage there. You don't suffer a penalty for bringing the infield up here. So, no pluses, no double plays on Stargell's card. So up and hold, Willie Stargell. 2 7s, a strikeout. And with 2 outs, Bob Robertson. Let's take a look at Bob's card before he swings here. Devastating card. 27 bombs and under 400 at-bats in 1970. The pitch to Bob Robertson. 48 off Nolan is single 1-2, 16, and they roll a 17. Folks, I don't think it's the Pirates' year, folks. I'm flabbergasted. So we are scoreless. 2 of the most explosive offenses in all of Strat-O-Matic for this series, 69 to 72. And Gary Nolan and Bruce Keeson are throwing donuts. So, top of 7, Mike Fiore, 55, bouncer to short. Stennett, though, it gives up a single. Ray Oyler in there for the injured Concepcion. 210, let's look at the Ray Oyler, who's it? Ray Oyler card. So, this gentleman in 1969 played for the Seattle Pilots. And, of course, he was a free agent. And the Reds simply needed a defensive shortstop to back up Concepcion, and this was the best fielding shortstop available. Oyler hits 165 with this card. But 210 is a clean single to center field. And Fiore is a 12 runner. Oh, we could really add insult to injury if he goes third on this. Against the +2 arm of Alou. Yes, it's a 14. So the 14 rule, you can run on a 14 or better for the away team. He's a 12. Matty Alou has a +2 arm, so it's 14 to go to third. Here's the throw, and he makes it to third base. So you got first and third, nobody out. The infield's coming up for Tommy Helms. Tommy Helms, 33, is a pop to third. Still up for A. Bunning Tolan. Oh, I should squeeze. I don't like squeezing with a 316 hitter who was the all-star center fielder for the National League. So we have runners on the corners with 1 out. Bobby Tolan. The pitch to Bobby. 49 is a clean single to right field. The run scores. Oyler holds at second base against the Clemente arm. And Bruce Keeson is finally broken. So that's what happens, folks, to the Pirates. A hit off of a defensive player, and a 165 hitter gets a single, and the runner goes to third on the +2 arm of Matty Alou, and then they get another single, and that's, yeah. 6 1/3 innings for Keeson, and he's broken, so he's gone. And you got Rose, Perez, bench, Carbo. This is going to be tricky. I like to bring a lefty in, but you got Perez and bench coming up, so that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Ramon Hernandez is relief 3. Justy's the closer. The other 2 relievers aren't very good at all. Rose has power, I'm assuming, yes. I don't mind having Julio Navarro pitching to Perez and bench. I just don't like him pitching to Pete Rose with 2 guys on base. Rose doesn't have power against lefties, so we're gonna do some opposite logic here. We're gonna bring the scrub relievers in here. Nye will go to Rose, so Rich Nye will come on in the 7th inning. Take a look at Rich. He will come on in the 7th just to pinch to Pete Rose, with runners at first and second. Figuring that all the right moves haven't worked for the Pittsburgh, let's try a wrong move. So the lousy Rich Nye to Pete Rose with first and second and 1 out. The pitch to Pete. 56 off the Nye card is a fly to the left. All right. He'll leave, thankfully. And we're going to have some fun now with Perez and bench. So Julio Navarro, not allowed to pitch to lefties, as you can see by the card, comes on in the 7th with 2 outs now, trying to get Perez and or bench out. So Tony Perez with runners at first and second and 2 outs in a 1-0 game. The pitch to Tony Perez, 6-12, rolls back to the pitcher, and it worked. So the Pirates, it's only a 1-0 game. Stretch time here in Pittsburgh. We're listening to Johnny Jenkins, the Tonton Makute LP of 1974, down along the cove. Let's switch us up to a Welcome Gilded Splinters, because that's basically what the Pirates are doing right now. Yeah, Welcome Gilded Splinters. Pirate season is in jeopardy, and they got to get it started now. It's a 1-0 game, for Pete's sake. Something's got to spark. The fans are on their feet. They recognize the drama and the seriousness finally, and they're hoping for a rally to start in the lower half of the Pirate lineup. It'll be Sanguian leading off in the 7th. 2-9 is a base hit. Al Oliver. 63. Pitcher X off Nolan, who is an E0. Another miracle is needed here to avoid the double play. A 2, E0, and they don't get the miracle. It's a 1-6-3 double play. 2 outs, Rennie Stennett. 2-8 for the 353 hitter, grounds to short. All right, 8th inning. Navarro still in there to pitch to Johnny Bench. And if he gets, yeah, okay. Johnny Bench leading off the 8th inning of a 1-0 game. The pitch, 57 is a K. Julio Navarro gets Rich Nye, and Julio Navarro get everybody out. And now they finally get to Hernandez and Justy. So here comes Ramon Hernandez now. Take a look at Ramon Hernandez. With only 5 outs remaining in 9 innings. We'll come on in the 8th. And batting for Bernie Carbo, his platooner in left field, and slightly better defensive player, Billy Canigliaro. Let's take a look at Billy. Nice little acquisition, acquired out of Boston. Billy Canigliaro for Bernie Carbo, to the BCs in left field. The pitch to Canigliaro, 66, is a liner to short. And with 2 outs, Lee May. 2-3, skies to center. Bottom of the 8th, 1-0 game. All the Reds defense is in there. 6 outs are required to knock the Pirates. Oh my goodness. Now, Mazeroski does have power versus righties. So he could tie this game. Bill Mazeroski. Let's take a look at Bill's card. See, he's got power. And the other, well, Gene Alley has power too. Roberto Pena doesn't. And Ken Rudolph, he has power too. Anyway, Bill Mazeroski leading off the bottom of the 8th. 412 off Nolan as a pop to first. Matty Alou. 3-6, Matty. Single 1 to 17 is a base hit for the A Steeler. You got bench. I'm not going to run off a bench. I don't care if it's just 1-0. Silly. -4 on bench. So, Hebner, Clemente, and Stargell. In a 1-0 game, you got to let Nolan deal here. You got to break him to get him out of there is what I think. And with no men on in the 7th, you have to get 3 men on in the 8th. Hebner, let's take a look at Hebner's card. He was an all-star. He's had a good year. Hitting well over 300 this year. This is his 69 card. Again, another 69 card that's outstanding, just like Matty Alou's is, which will, these cards will be gone at the end of the season. But Hebner and Matty Alou will continue their Pirate career. Hebner may get better. I'm not sure if he gets better. Well, he might have more power, but I don't think he'll hit with this high a batting average again. So Hebner, with Alou being held at first base. The pitch to Hebner, 56, is a sky to right. And with 2 outs, Roberto Clemente, he's got 2 hits today. He's 2 for 3. Roberto Clemente, the pitch to Clemente. 2-6, he's 3 for 4, a base hit, ... And you got runners on the corners and 2 outs, and Willie Stargell is the batter. Now, this is really interesting because the Reds do have a lefty they could bring in, Jim Strickland, just to face Stargell, and then go with their closer, Clay Carroll. Or you could have Gary Nolan pitch to Stargell since he's throwing a shutout, and he's really good against lefties. I'm opting for the latter. Let Gary Nolan do it. Not to mention that the Reds are in gravy mode anyway. They got 6 chances of knocking the Pirates out, so they're not going to do anything crazy here. They'll pitch to Stargell with a right-hander. You saw the card earlier. Willie has got to get it going now. There is no other tomorrow for the Pirates. Runners on the corners. 2 outs in the 8th inning. The pitch to Pop Stargell. 58 is a pop to second base. The nightmare continues, but it's still just 1-0 in the 9th. Mike Fiore will leave, and Don Pavlitek will come in for him, and Hernandez will leave, and they'll go to the last guy, Dave Justy, in the 9th. This is it. It's Justy for as long as this game goes, as they empty the bullpen in a 1-0 game. So let's look at Pavlitek. You see he hits lefties better than righties, so that's why the Pirates made the switch. The pitch to Pavlitek, 2-8 is a K. That would have been a walk against a lefty. Ray Euler, 48 is a pop to first. And Tommy Helms, 2-4, pops to third. Here it is, folks, bottom of the 9th, 1-0 game. Now, you could break Nolan in the 9th inning. You got Robertson, then you have Sanguine, who doesn't have power, and now Oliver. And then Rennie Stennett after that. Gary Nolan. They do have Strickland and Clay Carroll warming in the bullpen because 2 batters breaks Nolan. He'll most likely come out. Here's Bob Robertson. We saw his card earlier. Leading off the 9th for the Pirates. The pitch to Bob Robertson. 3-10 is a strikeout. Manny Sanguine, we haven't looked at his card yet, folks. 1970, Manny Sanguine. It's 325 with this card. I got to read some batting averages out to you. I'll start at the top. Matty Alou, 331. Richie Hebner, 301. Roberto Clemente, 352. Willie Stargell, 295 with 48 home runs. Bob Robertson, 287, 27 homers and under 400 at-bats. Sanguine, 325. A very young Al Oliver only hitting 285. A very young Rennie Stennett hitting 353. And they are being shut out, and they're about to go 3 games under 500. That's what is going on here in the National League of the 4-year carryover league. This would be devastating if the Pirates do not score a run here in the bottom of the 9th. Manny Sanguine, The pitch to Manny. 2-4, pops to second, and the Pirates season rests on the bat of Al Oliver. Let's take a look at Al. Now, this is also a 1969 card, but Al's very young here. But you notice he doesn't qualify in center field. Ultimately, he does play some center field in the early 70s for the Pirates and first base. He plays both those positions. His batting average will also get a lot better, over 300, and of course, eventually in the latter 70s, he's contending for the batting title for the Texas Rangers and eventually the Montreal Expos one year. So we know what Oliver's capable of, but he needs to make his mark now, right here. Al Oliver with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. The pitch to Al Oliver. 55, bouncer to second. See, we are done, and the nail is in the coffin of the Pittsburgh Pirates. They are toast, folks. I'm sorry. I've tried everything I could this year for this team. The 1971 World Champs. In 1972, they had the most wins in baseball, but did not go to the World Series. They're 15-18, and they're mathematically still have a chance, but I'll get into that math in the post game. So 1-0. The Reds. I think they've clinched this division, even though there's still 2 more rounds of the tournament. Justy struck out a guy in the 9th. Ramon Hernandez got 2 guys out. Holton Navarro struck a guy out. Keeson, 9 hits, 1 run. Defensive single, a 165 hitter single, a runner advancing on a +2 arm outfielder. It's unbelievable. I mean, you got to swerve well out of your lane to lose that way. 7 hit shutout for Gary Nolan to hit him 4 strikeouts. If the Red pitchers pitch this well the rest of the season, I'm wasting my time here, thinking up who can beat them. There's nobody can beat this team. Two games is all it took for the Reds in Pittsburgh. Didn't even have to go back home to Riverfront Stadium. The Pirates' season is a mess, total mess. So let's take a look at the year-to-date numbers for some of these players to see how terrible it's been. Pirates are 15-18. They're hitting .276. That's not too bad. That's pretty good, actually. With a .391 ERA. I mentioned Stargell. What's his numbers? He's 21 for 119. He's hitting .176 with 1 homer. You saw the card of Willie Stargell. Excuse me, 4 homers. He's hitting .176 with 4 homers and 11 RBI. Clemente's had a nice year, 47 for a 133. That's been good. Steve Blass is 3-6. Justy, the closer, is 0-3 with 7 saves. Yeah, just a sad year, really. The Reds hitting .285 with a .340 ERA. That's very good, and are 21-10. So when you look at the standings presently, there it is. They were 5 games back. Now they're 7 games back. So this series is done. So let's assume the Cardinals, even if they lose to the Cubs here, which I doubt will happen, I'm guessing the Cardinals will be in 2nd place after they play the Cubs. That should be what happens. If that's the case, the Pirates in 3rd place in the next round of the tournament would be playing the San Francisco Giants, assuming they stay in 2nd place. Well, they'll play the 2nd place team in the National League West, which would be the Giants at 3 over 500, or possibly the Astros, who are 3 or 4 games over 500. If that's the case, with 5 games to play, same thing, the Pirates would probably have to win all 5 of those. They couldn't beat Cincinnati 6 out of 7. I doubt they can win 5 straight against the Giants or Astros in the next round. If that happens, then that eliminates the Pirates at that point. So, the Reds, .677 winning percentage here, 11 over 500. They will play the Dodgers in the next round. The matchups of number 1 seeds to determine overall seeding. A game and a half better than the Dodgers. Dodgers would need to win 4 out of 6 to have a better, to get the number 1 seed away from the Reds. The Mets, they're not quite close enough. So, that's it from the National League Central. Congratulations, Cincinnati Reds, for destroying this division. We'll check you next time.